most welcome viewers yet again to another episode on the Motivation Time with Ahegwa Samuel, an author, motivational speaker, and business consultant. Today we are discussing yet again on the continuation of the last episode on the education for productivity and success. Now in this episode, definitely we have got to understand that education is very key in coming to understand why actually I'm motivating you. We write, we motivate, we read, we follow various things like arts, like hobbies, for the sake of education. Education is a science. And that's why we have to understand what the real secret is in getting the true education. Now, in my fourth edition on the Good Education Against Poverty, the subtitle of that book is Harnessing the Human Potential, in the need to definitely increase our productivity and also inspiration in learning and also de-learning certain things that actually don't work, certain ideas, certain norms and values. We've got to understand that the quality of the education we get determines actually what we are going to be, from the tastes and preferences we have, from the choices that we make, whether at the workplace, whether in your social time, whether in your private time. And this is where the real secret, why John Dewey, one of the American educationists, said, education is not just the preparation of life, but it is life itself. And because of the longevity of education, or the science of education, this episode will be carried even to the next episode, so that we can understand the true education or the right education against unproductivity, hunger, disease, backwardness, illiteracy, and all the challenges humanity is facing. Let me quote one billionaire or manufacturer, Henry Ford, who said, "You cannot learn from school what the world is going to do next year." And this is where the real first point comes in. The first purpose of education is to create results. Education should be teaching us to know what the world is going to be or what it is going to become. Even when we are in challenges like global pandemics like we are currently in under COVID, or under the economic recession, or during wars, during wartime like this, and also economic shakeups in the world, you still need to understand what is the consequence of every calamity or every kind of problem that you face. And this is why Sir Isaac Newton said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." One of the greatest giants that we have are problems. In my last episode still, I can still refer you to what I talked about, problems. This is why Albert Einstein said, "It's not that I am smart, rather because I stay with problems longer." So problems should be those giants, should be those hills which teach us to see what the world is going to be tomorrow. Now that is not what we learn in formal schooling. That's the power of education. We should be learning problems. We should be learning the needs of society, what it is going to be tomorrow, whether in technology, whether in the sciences, whether in the health, whether in the arts, in any kind of sector which you might feel you still want to understand or you want to master in life. We are not educated just because of the certificates. We are not educated because of the status quo. And so the issue of the education is to actually take us to see problems, to see those giants in life, and we stand on them. And the principles also we get from education is we get the principle of solving problems. And that is why Immanuel Kant said the purpose of education is for the reconstruction of humanity. It is for the purpose of actually making people valuable, to be problem solvers rather than problem spectators or problem onlookers or pity party kind of person, or we are kind of this kind of people who wish to please others. When you hold problems longer, even the studies established that your brain capacity increases very highly. And that is the reason why definitely I wrote about poverty, because the real problem that actually we are facing today is a problem of poverty. And because of this poverty in our quality of education, that's why most of the time we are suffering from bureaucracy, we are suffering from procrastination, depression, and also isolation from actually reality, or what we may call getting out of touch with reality. Next is that education teaches us to understand the social conditions of the market-driven economy. One thing you must know is that you are selling something or you are buying something in life, whether you are aware of it or you are not aware of it. Whether you understand it or you don't understand it, just get it from me today. You are either buying something or you are selling something in life. So that is why Erich Fromm, the German psychoanalyst, actually talks about the understanding the social conditions of the market economy. Because in a market economy, as we are selling and we are buying certain things, certain norms, certain ideas, you have to understand the social conditions of those things actually that we are either selling or we are buying. So what are you selling? If you don't understand the psychoanalytic conditions that are surrounding society today, and that is the reason why the purpose of education, as Immanuel Kant said, is to reconstruct humanity, or to endeavor that humanity continues. So it's very important that we also get to also believe that education is not actually the formal schooling in which we are today. It's not about just sitting and waiting for a teacher or a tutor or a consultant like me to just come and tell you something and you change. The change doesn't come like that. Change will only come when you come in a touch with those giants, those principles which teach you actually to understand the problems of society. And also, it engages your psyche, it engages your social relations ability, it also engages your skills, it engages your physical nature to make sure that you actually grow towards those things. Now, education should be used as a means of changing society. This is why John Dewey still said, education can be used to change democracy. Or rather, he says, a democracy must be created every other time, and education is its midwife. So what is the purpose of education? The other purpose of education is to create change. Now, in most cases, you have seen today, definitely we are talking about the youth unemployment all over the world. Governments are fighting with unemployment or this kind of unproductivity. The problem is not that government has the power to create employment. The issue here is to make sure that we create education in ourselves. That is self-education. And that's why one person said that formal schooling can give you a living, but self-education can give you a fortune. And that this is where the purpose of education is. If we only learn how to capitalize on the idea of learning from everything, just like the problems you have, everything, even the sickness that you have, can teach you how to feed right, to feed well, because that is the only way you can start getting a new kind of prescription and also to get a new menu so that you do what? You adapt to life. So in other words, education teaches us to adapt. It teaches us to understand that we can use even our problems to become the best we want to be in any endeavor, whether it is social, whether it is in your workplace, whether it is in your free hours, or whether it is in actually anything serious like spiritual transformation. If you're seeking any kind of change in your life, education can be used to do that. There is a song by Dolly Parton which says, a coat of many colors my mother gave me. What does that song actually teach you? Because in most cases, most people actually don't think that even music is teaching them something. And this is where the challenge is. If you think that even music is not teaching you something, then that is where you're going to miss the point of what the purpose of education is. A coat of many colors means, as she sang it, the lyrics clearly tell you that her mother had a few pieces of clothes, and this is where systems thinking comes in. Education, as Immanuel Kant says, he said that until human beings develop into new beings who have learned to see a whole, not just as a piecemeal thinkers, then will the social transformation actually start for human being. So what is the issue? The point is, even those small pieces, everything that life gives you, you can make anything good out of it. And that is the purpose of education. So education is not, the colors are not the uniforms that we have, or the schools that we have gone to, or the awards you have got in school, in formal schooling. The real secret of education is making sure that you can transform yourself with any idea, whether in music, whether in a motivational series like this one. Because every time you're here, you're listening to a song, just like Dolly Parton sang, is being thrown at you. You're buying something, you're selling something. And the secret here is make sure you use all the pieces of life that you have. Use your past, use your present to change or transform yourself. You can become anything you can do. You can become anything you want to be only if you are very careful with what you're selling or what you're buying from others. It's the ideas, the motives, the reactions that you have in life that are teaching you what you actually are going to be tomorrow. And that is the purpose of education, to teach you what the world is going to do tomorrow, not rather teaching you how to just get certificates and just books and just pile a head full of just facts and only cram work. And this is where education beats status quo and bureaucracy in any society. With education, you can become anything. It is not about just earning from a job. Real true education actually teaches you that you can get money or you can get success from anywhere or any place. The issue is you've got to focus your mind on what you're selling or what you're buying from others. I will quote John Dewey again, who said, knowledge is yours to the extent to which you use it. If you don't use knowledge, definitely you don't have that knowledge. The issue is not in the certificates that we pile in our bags or in our wardrobes. The issue is how much knowledge are you using every day to simply make yourself busy and also change and transform yourself. That is where the real reason for education and purpose of education is. Thank you for following me in this series. Follow me on my WhatsApp, and follow me also. You can consult me on Facebook, Ahebwa Samuel, author, and you will actually get more of the ideas. Thank you. God bless you.